How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky, it might be almost to the point of Ruth?
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street.
The Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons on the mend. Zack Tom needing surgery for a torn patellar tendon. Tucker Kraft thinks the Packers are a Super Bowl team if he and Micah Parsons don't get hurt. Would certainly have changed the narrative of today's program and yesterday's edition. The Evan Cohen scheduled to appear. We'll get his national perspective on this team. And very, very, very interesting tidbit from Barry Alvarez on the Barry Alvarez show. How many more of those do we have left this season?
One more next week.
Oh, the season finale. Is it going to be a cliffhanger?
It is not going to
be down at Hard Rock.
It is not going to be at the Hard Rock. It'll be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, but
Barry will be there. He's coming up.
We are cooking up the potential for a very special guest to join us of national renown who
Evan Cohen
may be pretty busy on Monday night and then joining us on Tuesday night for the finale at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton.
Kurt Signetti.
Speculate. You can speculate as you wish. We're working on it.
No, it's Cristobal. Barry's got Miami roots, man.
Yeah,
it's a Miami deal.
Indeed.
Anyway, that's our finale next Tuesday night.
Are you promoting that yet? That Barry Alvarez is with Mario Cristobal?
That is not.
Since we don't know if that's true,
I am not going to confirm nor deny who it is, but it's not Mario Cristobal.
Of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, and, of course, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube videos, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay, back in the basement as locker room cleanout was yesterday. Got called back to the locker room to talk to Tucker Kraft, who initially was not meeting with the media. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. From his undisclosed location, he's the Packers Hall of Famer. He knows what Aaron Rodgers said last night. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
What did Aaron Rodgers say last night?
Voicing his support for Matt LaFleur and Mike Tomlin. Didn't say anything about Bob Saleh or anything that happened with the Jets, but he definitely was supportive of his current coach.
I can't wait. I'm going to tell you this, man. I cannot wait for Aaron Charles Rodgers when he retires, and if it's this year or next year, when he takes one of these big boy national jobs and he's on, and he's going to have to start doing this same speculating and doing this. I can't wait because it's going to be fun to watch. Oh, he rails against it. I don't think he will rail against it. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will actually just not doing it, but I would be shocked. He'll be too good at it, and he's going to get paid too much money. He will do it. And I don't think he's going to love initially how it goes. And then as it goes, he's going to see, well, okay, I found all of that. I found him to be a little crusty. And I guess tough loss, I get it.
He did get beat up last night.
Well, and somebody asked some sort of follow-up looking for, it was a really good answer. And we will play it, even though we don't spend a lot of time on him anymore. After spending day after day after day at one point in this program's history on him, he did give a pretty good answer and did talk about Mike Tomlin in addition to Matt LaFleur. And then someone asked him a follow-up looking for more on Matt LaFleur, and he dropped an F-bomb and stormed off. He was done. So it was a tough night. It was if it was his last game until he becomes the Minnesota Vikings 2026 quarterback, he was not in the greatest of moods. But he did say some interesting things about Matt LaFleur. So did Barry Alvarez. We'll get to him as well. I departed the program yesterday to go to the Packers locker room, which was awesome, by the way. I really enjoyed leaving to go to the locker room to talk to players. What did you ultimately discern in the time between when I left and when I came back for our little bonus digi only that then we couldn't go for much longer because we had to step aside for the great Alex Strofe and Mr. Irrelevant, who decided that our bonus coverage was, well, irrelevant. What did I miss? What were the opinions that were shared by the good people of Packer Nation?
Well, you were there for a big chunk of it, and I don't think it changed much from anyone that called in, and that is there's a lot of doubt about Matt LaFleur moving forward. And I think we're starting to see that he's going to more than likely be the coach, probably get a – what are we guessing here? I think – is it going to be a 3 or 4 year extension? You think it'll be – do we have any clue on that, or is that not part of this equation?
Are we purely speculating, despite Aaron Rodgers' preference that we don't do that? Yeah. I would speculate. He's got 1 year remaining. If you give him a 2 year extension, he's under contract for 26, 27, and 28. And much like the Mike McCarthy extension that he got going into the 18 season, if you decide, you know what, this was a mistake and he's not the guy, you've committed to him for 1 year and you have to pay out a little bit out of pocket as an organization with a $700 million war chest, and you pay the money and you go get somebody else. But I don't know that. I have no idea what those – and look, those negotiations, I don't know if they're underway. I don't know if they're in progress at this point. But the conversation, for those that are hoping that he's not the coach, I think there's still a path for that to be the case, right? Just because both sides want to move forward with him being the head coach, you offer him, minimum wage, he's probably going to say no. So we'll have to wait and see how those conversations go.
So I think that part of it is intriguing yet, but I think the overarching thing, and I didn't ask you this, and I don't remember exactly when you left, but the question I keep having is what is going to change, and what will be the difference. We all think that he's a really good regular season coach. I don't know anybody that could argue that. He's done a pretty doggone good job. Now, obviously, the last 3 or 4 years, you haven't been able to win a division, and it's crazy to me that I had to look back and think, man, I believe every team has won the division. We're the last. Maybe the Vikings. Did the Vikings win one? The Lions twice. Bears this year. Maybe we won it the year before, so maybe it hasn't been since the Vikings. But what's going to change? And then the other question I have, and I didn't get you to answer this yet, because there's this whole conversation about culture and toughness and what the players are asked, and do they have the resiliency? And the question I have is, why do teams, and one of his best friends in the world, why do they feel the way they do when they come to play him? His football teams. And I don't know if it's still the same, But that whole dragging out to water, like I'm still curious. Why do you think people feel that way? Well, it's because it's a fascinating quote.
Yeah.
Like, how do you as a journalist, you don't think that was fascinating? That Bob Saleh thought that about his best friend's team?
I do.
did.
I do, and I'm.
By the way, before I let you go, Ben Johnson, he feels the same way Dan Campbell and Bob Saleh felt.
Yeah.
Like when you go into the locker room and you're down 18 and you think you trust your team that can come back, but you also, the other team has to be willing to cede some things, and Ben Johnson felt that way both times. So there is a mentality that you can do this to the Green Bay Packers under Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
A couple things. One, the Chicago Bears did this to a bunch of teams. Now I don't know about 18-point comebacks. Obviously,
not to this degree. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a belief there that they are not out of any game, and just like you would talk about how much of a difference having belief in your quarterback and knowing you're in every game impacts how you play and how you feel about your chances. The fact that they have now done this 7 times, including the playoff game, where they won games where they were trailing at the 2-minute warning, how do you not believe, right? I mean, that's not all just happenstance. So with them specifically, and look, Ben Johnson, while his background is not one that would indicate like Robert Saleh or Dan Campbell that he's a tough guy, he certainly talks very tough and profanely. And Bears fans are loving it, and good for them. I would say that Robert Saleh, you can feel good about the fact that you can drag them out to deep water. By the way, Tucker Kraft dropping a deep water reference, so he's one of those players that I think they would look to instill more of that type of an attitude on a team that maybe doesn't have it. So I think that's important to note. He dropped that reference yesterday when we were talking to him. I think Micah Parsons is like that. So I think there are some guys who, as we've said repeatedly, were out for good chunks of the season with ACL tears, who maybe influence that mentality. They both were convinced that obviously they don't lose to the Bears if they're on the field. We don't need to get into, as Tucker Kraft said, excuse making, because he knows that's how people were going to react to what he said. Dan Campbell, yeah, ultimate tough guy. Yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm sorry, just to double check though, who won the 2 games between the Packers and the Lions this season?
Yeah, Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers.
Right. So I guess my point is that there are different ways to win in this league, and does there need to be more of a drag them out to deep water mentality? And do they have to be tougher, and do they have to be mentally tougher, both when they have a lead and when they're battling adversity? I agree with all those statements. Do they also need, in my opinion, some fresh ideas and some people on the staff that are going to challenge Matt LaFleur and not just bring back guys who used to work here, who lost their jobs and are looking for work? Like, I like Luke Getsy a ton. I had a great relationship with Nathaniel Hackett. I'm not sure bringing in guys who have been here the whole time or left and now they come back, I don't know how much new ideas you're getting out of that. I think there are about 1,000 different ways that they can improve, that they will improve their chances next year. And that means the head coach has to improve. That means their culture has to improve. That means they have to make changes on their coaching staff. I think there are a myriad of ways that they need to be better to get to where they want to go. My frustration yesterday was that it felt like there was an attitude of fire Matt LaFleur and everything will be fixed.
Sure.
That it was all about
I disagree
him.
with that too.
So I found that frustrating.
Jason, if I asked you to say, describe what the Packers culture is in a sentence, what would you say?
Let me think about that one, because I don't have an immediate answer for that. By the way, I have not made it through the entire game because we talked to a lot of guys yesterday. It was a really good locker room, especially when they brought Tucker Kraft back. But
it's brand new. It's clean.
No, not the
amenities.
The people that were in it.
The players.
Yeah,
It is a nice locker room, though.
It is nice though. Posh, luxe, as I like to say. But I did watch a little bit of those of the second half back on NFL Plus. We will have Brian Bulaga tomorrow, I assume, to break down. But man, oh man. As a guy who enjoyed both the opportunity, what was that, 2004, to sit in the meeting room with you knuckleheads and experience that vibe, and then spend most of my free time in that locker room when you were playing and others hanging out at that end of the locker room, the not so nice but not as nice as the one now locker room, their offensive line was terrible. I mean, it was not good. And I saw Jim Matt and Molly, Jim Rutledge talking about how Jordan Love was a non-factor in the second half, which is not wrong, but I think the extenuating circumstance was he was under siege, not to the degree that Aaron Rodgers was last night, which that was ugly, but it was not good. It was really bad. And that is a factor.
By the way, with all that said, and I love the fact Jaden Reed took ownership. He threw an absolute dot to Jaden Reed. He catches that. They win the game. And then the throw to Watson was a great, tough throw. And I think Christian, I think, told you guys yesterday he did. Probably could have done some things differently.
They both did.
So the bottom line is, I think there's nobody. If you don't feel good about Jordan Love as the quarterback moving forward, I can't help you. I think everybody here feels like he got better this year. He is going to just continue. And for everybody that watched that game last night, I mean, C.J. Stroud, remember the conversation, would you rather Stroud or Love? Like, come on, that's not even Caleb Williams is ahead of Stroud. Like, I don't think there's – I wouldn't even – even with his completion percentage hovering in the mid-50s.
blank.
Jordan Love is the guy. I don't think anyone that wants to doubt that.
I don't know.
I got a hard time.
I heard Matt LaFleur be asked if Malik Willis gave them a better chance to win. Look, I understand frustration. I do. I don't understand frustration with him. I mean, the dude is like the third quarterback in NFL history to throw 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions in a playoff game and lose it. The first 4 drives of the second half were certainly devastating to them. But again, they threw the ball a ton under those circumstances. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't protect the thrower of the ball. That is a bad combination to start a second half when you have a 21-3 lead. But again, lots of criticism to go around. I was also bothered by they took their foot off the gas. No, they didn't execute.
Defensively, defensively you could say they did.
Sure.
I could. Offensively, no, sir.
No.
They threw it too. Here's the deal. They wanted to run the football. They couldn't.
Against the 29th ranked run defense.
And their pass rush is not good. It was the second half, and I don't know if I think Dennis Allen, blitzed a little bit more. He started bringing some slot pressure and doing some other things to mix it up, and we didn't have the answers to that. We couldn't figure it out, whether that's bad blocking or you didn't scheme it and you didn't get the ball out of the hand. That's something I'm sure Matt LaFleur will look long and hard at. But the bottom line is this offensive line, and we've said this all year, is not as good as last year's. And everybody was critiquing and saying because of that Philly game last year, we need to revamp, and Goody did revamp, and the revamp didn't work. And that's on Goody as much as it is on the coaches. That's the scenario. I don't think anybody here is going to tell you that group, even with Elton Jenkins and when they were fully healthy. Now Zack Tom makes a huge difference. Anytime you can have that, and not having him the last 4 weeks, everybody's going off of Micah Parsons not being there. That's 0-5. They're 0-4 without Zack Tom too.
Correct.
If you want to start getting into right tackle stats as long as edge rushing win-loss, you got to get those guys back and healthy, and then you can start solidifying some other things. But I would be very surprised if there's not a complete overhaul of that offensive line room. And that's a mentality as well as the on-the-field side of it.
We can start banging the drum for James Campen back as the offensive line coach. I certainly would be in favor of that.
He's already with the organization still, right?
He's on the personnel side. He helps prepare
I'm not
going to
speak for Jimmy. I'm not going to speak for Jimmy. I don't think there's anything in the world he'd rather do than be the O-line coach for the Green Bay Packers.
I will have to ask him next time I correspond with him, and how he feels about us pushing that narrative, because that's us. We have a lot of influence, just like Gina Della has a lot of influence in the window sphere, and makes the best windows in the business.
Well, for your New Year's resolution, the sky is the limit with Pella's 0 interest for 4 years. Finance offer, no payments, no interest for 4 years. Think of everything you can do in 4 years. Well, the Packers can't win a division. Get a college degree, raise your toddler until they're ready for school, or you can serve a full term as the president. Start your own journey today towards meeting your personal goals, and you can enjoy Pella's highest quality products with exclusive features custom made for your home. Deal ends January 31st, so schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We'll get further into
Who would guess? We haven't won a division title in 4 years. Who would guess that?
And every other team has won it since the Packers last won it. The Vikings,
when did the
Vikings in 2022.
Yep.
Lions in 23 and 24. Bears in 25. Now,
if you would have told me that was going to be the case in 2021, like we're getting out of COVID, you say we ain't winning a division post-COVID, I'd tell you you're nuts. And yet here we are. That's crazy. I don't even know if I guess we finished second this year because of that tie, but we've been kind of hovering.
Well, they have been the number 7 seed each of the last 3 years, which again indicates that you did not win your division. More from yesterday's locker cleanouts and a few things from earlier in the week from Matt LaFleur as well that we want to get to. Plus Evan Cohen. It's all still ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Well, the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and, I love you, and, I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
The Golden Eagles came up just short in a 76-73 loss to Villanova on Saturday at Pfizer Forum as they were unable to convert at the buzzer to force overtime. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was sensational, finishing with 31 points and 6 assists while going 7 for 9 from three-point land.
Off in the corner to Stevens, back to Chase Ross, off to James. Open
Still
three.
Hot.
Good again.
Still
and
hot.
good again. 23 for Nigel
Said
King.
he could be hot.
After 2 home games this past week, the Golden Eagles will now hit the road as they'll take on St. John's on Tuesday and DePaul on Friday. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day Saturday, February 7th when Marquette hosts Butler.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or 2. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So, I don't know if you saw Aaron Rodgers walk off last night from his final press conference, but he was irritated. He was a little grumpy. And he had reason to be. It was a rough night. But before he exited in disgust, well, I mean, frankly, he was kind of disgusted at the start of this answer, too. But someone asked him about Mike Tomlin and his 19-year run in Pittsburgh and the fact that they lost and the frustration some Steelers fans have for where things stand with their organization. So you're not the only ones, Packers fans. Both teams lost in the first round of the playoffs. Both teams finished in roughly the same place with record-wise, right? Steelers 9-8, Packers 9-7-1. But I thought I did not see this coming. I was watching him because I was curious what he was going to say about his future. And instead, Aaron Rodgers, and I saw this on Steelers.com, kudos to them for broadcasting it, said this.
I mean, this league has changed a lot in my 21 years. You know, when you hear a conversation about the Mike Tomlins of the world, Matt LaFleurs of the world, those are just two that kind of I've played for. And when I first got in the league, there wouldn't be conversation about whether those guys were on the hot seat. You know, but the way that the league is covered now and the way that there's snap decisions and the validity given to the Twitter experts and all the, experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke. And for either of those two guys to be on the hot seat is really apropos of where we're at as a society and a league, because obviously Matt's done a lot of great things in Green Bay and we had a lot of success. Mike T has had more success than damn near anybody in the league, for the last 19, 20 years. And more than that, though, when you have the right guy and the culture is right, you don't think about making a change. But there's a lot of pressure that comes from the outside, and obviously that sways decisions from time to time, but it's not how I would do things and not how the league used to be.
Tausch? What do you think what your old QB said?
Yeah, the league isn't what it used to be. They're playing 17 games. They're doing international stuff. It's different. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, is the media conglomerate much bigger and more boisterous? Absolutely it is. But I don't think if you're a Pittsburgh fan, just like if you're a Packer fan, Packer fans don't expect to go an Olympiad without a division title. Steelers fans don't expect to go more than a decade without winning a playoff game?
That's correct.
So I get it. I mean, Mike Tomlin's has had a great career. But just like Aaron's career, Aaron has had a Hall of Fame. He's been awesome for a long time. He wasn't awesome last night. And this stuff, at some point, everybody's time comes to an end. And you can lament it, and most guys do. But to say, well, this is what it is. This is the reality of this business, man. It's hard. And for guys that have been at the top, like Aaron and Mike, it probably is a much more difficult acknowledgement that things change because you're so used to things being this way and that this is the case. Is it fair? Probably not. But is it the reality of a win now and the fact that teams have flipped scripts pretty quickly? Yeah, that's how it goes.
So I want to ask this question of you and Evan coming up. And I don't know I'm still workshopping how to phrase it. But you guys both are very supportive of Brian Gutekunst, more so than I am. Although, again, I think I get painted inaccurately in my criticism of him. Didn't like when he lied to me, but I don't think he's a bad GM by any stretch. But is the expectation game and the outside pressure and everything else Rodgers is talking about there, does that mean that the thought process of building a team that can get you in the tournament and then hoping that it gets hot, which is the way Ted built teams, right? Which is the way Goody has built teams until he goes out and trades for Micah Parsons, which, again, makes me wonder if he's thinking this, too, to some degree. Are those days giving way to you have to go boom or bust? Like you have to go big time all in, and then if that means you have to suffer through hitting the reset button for a few years, that's the better way to win a title? Because, man, the Packers have built some pretty good football teams, and they have one playoff win to show for it since losing to Tom Brady in that NFC Championship game in that three-quarters empty Lambeau Field where you and Max were banging your Coles signs on the empty benches because there was no real home field advantage.
No. I would disagree with that. It is not. If you have your quarterback figured out, everything else falls into place. The Steelers haven't had their quarterback figured out since Ben Roethlisberger.
But the Packers do.
And the Packers have been in position. The idea of going boom or bust, like the Rams did, and they won a championship, they have their quarterback. They didn't have it with Goff. Then they go get their quarterback, and now they've had sustained success with however it goes. There is the thing is you can build a team. You do have to have some luck, but all you have to really do is get in the playoffs, and if you can get a 1 or a 2 seed and be able to host playoff games, that has to be your goal for the regular season, and then have field tilters that will make field tilting plays. In this last night, Houston, Will Anderson, field tilter, makes a big play, they win the game. The game looks like it was a rout. It's 10-6 with like 10 minutes left.
Correct.
And then they crush Rodgers. They make a play. Their defense was their field tilter. So this whole idea that you can only do things in one big swoop and then reset, what you can't do is, I believe, what Pittsburgh has done. And that is continue to just try to get by. They know that they weren't winning a Super Bowl the last 3 or 4 years. And it's tough when you have a core of defensive players, Hayward and Watt and, I don't know, you name the other guys that they got I think Queen is their linebacker. You think that you can do it, but the problem with that, you get old quick. And unless your defense can be like what Houston did, you still have to have the quarterback. If you have your quarterback, you can sustain success. If you don't, then you have to go boom bust. And that's a turnover deal. That's where that is. So that's why I don't think the Packers have done it that way. Pittsburgh has, and Pittsburgh is probably – you can flip this script quick. Look at Washington 2 years ago. If you get it right, you can script flip quickly.
Right, and look at the Rams, right? The Rams went all in. They said, F them picks. They had basically one down year. And then they bounced right back. And now, if they beat the Bears, they're in the NFC Championship game again. That's why I'm asking.
And why is that?
Because they have their quarterback, that's for sure. And they decided they didn't have their quarterback before. And,
yes.
Right. You're 100% right. All right, we need to get to
there doesn't need to be this boom or bust that you said. And I was shaking my head for everybody that wasn't on the video pretty vehemently as you were talking because I just don't buy into that. The NFL is built to flip it quick. But the NFL, if you want to be great for a long time, you got to just keep giving yourself chances. You can't just get by. And I would argue the Packers the last couple of years have just gotten by. And that's where they need to take that next step. And I think they had their guys stayed healthy, but that's the great unknown and the great variable. And that's why when you have those opportunities, you best take advantage of them.
Just like you need to take advantage of the great products of Jones Dairy Farm.
Oh, indeed. Best known for their all-natural sausage, the original family recipe that they haven't given me yet, but I am going to keep getting after Philip and the great team at Jones Dairy to get it. It's available in pork, chicken, and turkey. And, everybody, it's the new year. Everybody wants to eat clean. Oh, let's find this. Let's go organic. Let's do all this stuff. Well, since 1880, Jones has been doing this from the get-go. No fillers, nitrates, MSG. It's all natural. They got great bacon. They have the great meatballs, Braunschweiger, everything that you're looking for. You can find Jones products in groceries across Wisconsin. Check out their website at jonesdairyfarm.com.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. Well, it's a new year, and that means new goals. Iron Jock is here to help you stay committed to those goals, whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026. Formulated to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, Iron Jock keeps you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. But right now, you can get 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use promo code ESPN30. That's ESPN30 for 30% off your order over $75. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If your joint pain has been slowing you down, then listen up. There is a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on hold. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee offer regenerative treatments designed to help your body repair the areas causing pain. Knees, hips, shoulders, or back, wherever it hurts. Instead of an invasive operation that takes you out of commission for months, these treatments are done right in the office. You walk in, you walk out, and you get on with your day. No 3 to 6 months recovery. Picture this instead. You're moving better, you're feeling stronger, actually planning the year that you want because you finally took care of that pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is your clean slate. So make it count. Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian, Detroit style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Joining us now from Unsportsmanlike, Start the Clock. He's got some other commitments today.
What has he got?
I don't know.
What commitments?
Sources close to the program indicating that we need to get Evan out long before we usually do. Good morning, Evan. How are you?
It's going to be every week because it's getting very tricky to be 11 minutes after you tell me I'm going to be on. And yes, I have another commitment at 10 o'clock. So what do you want me to do? Every week now.
Well, what's your commitment?
Week.
What? Hey, what's more important than Wilde and Tausch to you on Tuesdays?
Sedano and Cap.
Okay. That's a big-time show out there in L.A., so I get it. You're a big market guy. Thank you.
Unfortunately for Tausch, that was an answer he actually appreciated and agreed with, which is weird. I have so many.
I'd have Coke. Hey, stop jabbering. We only got you for 10 minutes. Let's go. Hey, what's your take? We've heard a lot of Matt LaFleur discussion the last couple days. How do you view it, you and Canty and your the national boys and girls? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, so my thing is this, Tausch. I don't know the name. You and Jason could probably give me the name or names. When you guys won a title, you probably had some people on your team, players or coaches, that you were basically like, don't mess with that guy because that guy is going to beat the crap out of you on the field, off the field, mentally, physically. That's a bad mamma jamma. CC says all the time, I want some guys on my team with a rap sheet. I want people that are not going to back down to the fight. And I think what the Packers are missing right now, and it's always a reflection of the top two most important people, which is coach and quarterback, are those types. So if you want to keep Matt LaFleur, that's fine. I need someone that's a butt kicker. I need my version of Draymond Green, let's say, who's not going to stand for some of this.
That'll punch a teammate right in the face. You're looking for somebody that'll punch a teammate right in the face. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Or who's going to, literally stop Ben Johnson as he's running off the field saying, I don't care that you won. You're not messing with my coach on that. Tausch and Wilde, you guys know my favorite non-Michael Jordan basketball player of all time is a guy by the name of Udonis Haslem. Was on the Miami Heat for 20 years. He was that guy. He was the guy that would say to LeBron James, no, get up, do this. Or that when Jimmy Butler tried to fight the head coach, he would try to fight Jimmy Butler. It feels like the Packers are missing grimy. So if you feel like Matt LaFleur can fight back with some grimy, great. If you feel like he can't, then you have to move on and find that person. Because obviously if the John Harbaugh stuff is out there, no one's wondering if a Harbaugh is grimy. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know enough about
what if
where...
the Ravens. What if the Ravens done the last? They've underachieved more than anybody. Why is everybody in love with John Harbaugh?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but why is everybody in love with John Harbaugh?
Because of the name and because of the success and because of the evolution of the quarterback position that he leaned into.
He's had an MVP quarterback fill his britches. They haven't even won a home game. They've gotten beaten. They haven't even made a Super Bowl with their MVP.
All right, so then give me another name. Give me another name.
I don't have one. I think Matt LaFleur is going to stay.
Okay, great. Then he stays. You want another grimy name? I'll give you. How about if you look around? Has anyone's brother ever worked for the Packers? Oh, you, Signetti. What about you? Has your brother told you anything good about Green Bay?
Oh, Sig. Coach Sig.
He may have been the worst quarterbacks coach they've had.
All right. So then he would say, I was the problem. But anyway,
I'm sure he was.
The point that I'm making, I'm just throwing out names that people know, right?
So let me throw a name at you before you make your points. Because there's a group of folks in the YouTube comments that want Robert Saleh because he drags you out to the deep water and drowns you. Does he get a pass for being unsuccessful with the Jets? But they'd rather have Robert Saleh than him?
As what, a head coach?
As the head coach.
They want him as
yeah. Get rid of Matt LaFleur. Hire Robert Saleh.
Let's talk about Robert Saleh. You guys.
Did he have to go already?
This is the best point he's made all day.
Really?
He's got to be ready for
really cutting into
o'clock.
our limited time with him.
You guys not hear me?
No.
You guys don't hear me?
Hey, there you go. Hey! We thought you left for L.A. We thought you went with the big boys.
I said, why? The question that I have is, why did Matt LaFleur let Robert Saleh out of the building?
Where did you want him to go? Jeff Hafley? He's going to hire him over Jeff Hafley?
Well, because he's so impressive. If Jeff Hafley is, what has he done that's so great? Jeff Hafley. That's some dominant defense that I watched the other night? Really?
No, it was not. Not in the second half.
Not in the fourth quarter.
He's good with. He's very good with the media. He's good with the media.
Exactly right. If Jeff Hafley looked like me, I don't know that we're all in love with Jeff Hafley so much. He's a
If Jeff Hafley talked, hey Jason, quick question. This is a fair question, Jason. We all agree Jeff Hafley is a leader of men, and he's in front of the room, and he's great, right? We all agree with that.
Yeah.
But when you look at the stats, how much better have the defenses been than with Joe Barry? In the grand scheme, I think the eye test.
They were
there's no doubt they're
significantly
better.
last year statistically. This year they were not.
Well, this is the year
that's Evan's point.
Right, but
right. So Jeff
and they were a top
Hafley,
5
let's be
defense
honest.
before they lost Micah Parsons. They have a other edge rusher who appears to loaf on many plays. Like, look, I understand. There's lots of criticism to go around. When you give up 25 fourth quarter points, you deserve to be criticized and questioned. He definitely deserves that. Doesn't matter how good he is with the media. Quite frankly, as much as I enjoyed him doing it at the end of his press availability with us last week, the minute he banged the podium and said that, you heard
It's not a mistake.
You heard the Bears talking about it. You heard them saying they wanted us. Like, again, I'm not saying that that's why the Packers lost the game, but you got Christian Watson, you got Jeff Hafley, you got Keyshawn Nixon, who was coming off a performance against the Bears where he probably should just kept his mouth shut when it came to that. We wanted the Bears. We're not going to be done. I'll see you guys next week. All that stuff. You know who he's seeing today? He's seeing the Tennessee Titans. His first of many interviews. Right. But I would say that their performance defensively was not representative of what they had been. They played like crap against Baltimore, and they played like crap in the fourth quarter against the Bears. Those are very valid criticisms, but their defense was pretty damn good for most of the year.
Played pretty crappy against Denver and Bo Nix, too.
Point,
they did.
But my point is, if I'm a Packers fan today, however...
Bo Nix looked like Dan Marino against him. What are you talking about?
Right. Isotoners and all. If I'm a Packers fan today, what I want is I want an identity of a group of people that are going to use this insane skill to fight back next year. And if it's just going to be this laissez-faire kind of mentality and I'm not going to fight back, well, then I have an issue. And if they don't believe that LaFleur can be the guy that leads them to fight back, then you move on. Because the reality is, I believe that what Adam Schefter's reporting likely states is that the Packers are going to offer an extension based on their terms that maybe LaFleur wouldn't like, and maybe they have the mutual parting of ways. I'm not suggesting that's definitely going to happen. It seems like they're all going to try to get an extension, but I think the Packers, rightfully so, are going to say we want an extension on our terms, but the main reason we want an extension is just so you're not on a lame duck deal, not because we think you're the next Vince Lombardi, right? That's how I look at it. Can I ask another question, though? I've been fascinated by.
Do you have time?
That I
don't know. You got to go. Ask Sedano what it is.
You two are perfect people to ask about this. Okay?
Good.
I was thinking about this last night and today.
Uh-huh.
Last night may have been the last game of a career of a first ballot Hall of Famer that should be unanimous in vote into the Hall of Fame. Undoubtedly, Aaron Rodgers should be a Hall of Famer and a unanimous one of them.
Oh, here we go.
And I would argue that the fanfare and conversation around Aaron Rodgers is less than what it normally would be around a potential last game for someone of his level of accomplishment. And I wondered something. Is Aaron Rodgers anyone's favorite player anymore? Is there a Packers fan that's around Madison,
Erica.
Milwaukee, Beaver Dam?
Erica.
I don't know. Who's Erica?
Erica in Milwaukee.
She calls. She loves
Big fan of our show and of him.
Oh, I thought you meant that was his wife. I'm like, wow, you broke a story. So I just want, like, it's weird to think, if you're a diehard Packers fan, who's your favorite player? Is it Rodgers? Probably more Favre, right? I would think than Rodgers, Bart Starr for the older crew, younger crew. Are they in love with Jordan Love? It's the weirdest thing. How many other athletes in any other sport, and this one, are as accomplished as him, where you don't have crazy fans individually of the player?
Yeah, I think I don't want to speak for other people, but from what I could see on social media and what I certainly have seen about Brett Favre with the allegations in Mississippi, I feel like both of them have said things or done things that have nothing to do with their football acumen that have rubbed a portion, and sometimes a very large portion, of their fans the wrong way.
Okay,
and
I'm glad you brought that up.
I
was
think that's
thinking
a
about that as a counter. And I don't want to name names, but you can think of them in your head, of people that not allegedly, factually, have done way worse things that more people are fans of.
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to compare actions, whatever you want to say, actions that would be deemed negative.
Are you trying to say that O.J. Simpson is more popular than Aaron Rodgers?
That's definitely not what I'm saying, Tausch, but okay.
What are you saying? Jeez. No, what are you saying? I'm generally curious.
Say that in L.A.
Take a step back for a second.
Yeah, run that by Sedano. See how he takes that take. Holy cats. That is bold, Ev.
Tausch, take a step back for a second.
All right, I will.
Are you
Let me
surprised?
hold up. Okay.
Good, you got to step back. Are you surprised at the lack of fanfare around the Rodgers potential last game? Think about it this way. In Pittsburgh, the biggest story is Tomlin. In Green Bay, the biggest story, in Wisconsin, the biggest story is LaFleur. And in New York, where he played, he's not a story. In California, where he's from, he's not a story. He's not a story literally anywhere today, and last night may have been his last game of his career.
Well, I think
you not watch the end of the game? They had cameras following him around. They
to the
made it a
bathroom.
bigger deal. They made it a big deal, but Evan, it's been 3 years. 3 years in the NFL is eternity. So Pittsburgh, he's there 8 months. He's Russell Wilson at Wisconsin.
The Lions
He's there
game.
for 6
So
to
the
8
Lions
months.
game was the last game of his career.
Yeah,
for
agree with
Packer
that.
fans, yeah. And there was a ton of fanfare with that.
Absolutely there was.
Okay, and by the way, Evan, do you not for a minute believe? Let me finish quick, and then you can finish. No, I don't think he's going to play. If he does, great. When he retires and comes back, the stadium will be filled. They'll do the $12 charity deal like they did with Favre, and everybody will give him that big Packer welcome back to the crew. That's how this works. Shake your head all you want, Jason. You don't think people are going to fill that stadium to say thank you to Aaron Rodgers?
I am curious. I think Packers fans were far more forgiving of Favre than I think they will be of Rodgers. I don't know why. They just love him more. They do. They
do.
They
I won't
love
argue
him
that.
more. So I don't know.
Well, guys, if you were to open it up, and maybe today's not the day, and I know it's Tuesday, not Monday, but if you were
It's
to
not
open
Monday.
it up,
We're
to
not
calls,
taking calls.
Yeah. If you were to open up the calls, who is your favorite Packer ever? And you would literally just commit. We're going to take calls all 3 hours of the show. What place is Rodgers in?
Second or third?
Think about that.
I will unscientifically do that on social media, at least, if we're not going to take calls. Don't you think if he had come out and said definitively this was going to be his last game, it would have also been treated with more fanfare? I mean, he keeps saying probably, maybe, most likely. I think that's part of the equation too. Like, when you know a guy's definitely done, it's different than when he's leaving the door open. So that's just my 2 cents. You don't have time to answer. You have to go. Say hi to our ESPN LA teammates.
I do. I have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah. Sure.
We'll answer quickly.
Is Matt LaFleur going to be the Packers coach next year?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. Jason, what are you doing if, let's say, there's a LaFleur wants 4 years, the Packers want to give him 3, Packers want to pay him 10, he wants 15, and Atlanta comes and says, you know what, we really want him. Matt Ryan loves him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a second-round pick if I can get LaFleur. What does Green Bay do?
They trade him.
For a second.
Maybe. I mean, can they get a first?
Nope.
They don't
Second
have a first.
Because the Packers don't have
it.
it.
The Rams.
Yeah.
That
so
was really dumb.
All right, guys. LA's calling. See ya.
This is great. I'm so excited about ESPN LA having him
No,
on
I'm
a
actually
weekly
glad.
basis.
Jorge and Sedano and the whole crew, yeah, let them go.
It's a win for everyone.
It's George Sedano. It's not Jorge and Sedano.
Posada.
It's not Jorge.
You don't know what the lineup is out there. Don't act like you know the lineup
who
out
George
there.
Sedano is.
I don't know if you do.
Good
I
one.
don't.
Great comeback, Jorge. Hey, Jorge. We're giving away something from Iron Jock. You need to ask for a
Well,
caller.
since Jesse was such a... You know what? I was going to be nice, but then Jesse's a total jerk store, so I'm going to be a jerk store. But Iron Jock isn't. New year, new goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to them, and I'm going to stick it to Jesse. Whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better. Jason, can you tell me how many games Aaron Rodgers started in his NFL career? Smell a whole lot better in 2026. Iron Jock Gear has you covered. And right now, ESPN listeners can take 30% off all Iron Jock Gear on orders over $75. Just use that promo code ESPN30 at checkout. Again, that is ESPN30. Look good, smell great, and start the year strong with Iron Jock. Jason, were you able to secure that for me?
He started 257 regular season games and 22 in the postseason for a grand total of 279 career NFL games.
All right. Right now is your chance to win an Iron Jock hat. Caller number 279
we're not.
will win an Iron Jock hat. Caller 279 in honor of Aaron Rodgers' potential last start. Jorge Sedano could call. Anybody could call in. Get on in. Win this beautiful Iron Jock hat. 844-770-3776. Caller 279 to win the Iron Jock hat.
It's preposterous.
Is this even legal?
279.
Why is it not legal?
You're punishing me for correcting you for getting one of our teammates'
I'm not punishing
names
anybody.
wrong.
It's a new year. We haven't done a giveaway in a while. This is fun. You tell me a better number in honor of Aaron Rodgers than how many starts he had in his career.
8.
You give me an answer that's reasonable.
He
won 8 for a giveaway.
He won Super Bowl 45.
He did.
He was the MVP of Super Bowl 45.
Yep.
How about we do caller 45?
I'll let you. If you think it's too much for Jesse, that's fine. Caller 45. I'm going to say 279.
We're going to need 3 breaks to get to 270.
Only 273 to go.
All right, Jesse, which caller are you taking?
I'm going 279. He said 279.
Caller 279. Jesse, we'll talk to you in the 11 o'clock hour. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cohen. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
It's a new year, and everyone's talking resolutions. Eat better, move more, give up everything fun. Yeah, Carbless says you don't have to do that part, because when you reach for a Carbless, you're choosing a better-for-you cocktail. With 0 carbs, 0 sugar, only 100 calories, and full of flavor, you can stay on track with your New Year's resolutions without having to commit to dry January. Start 2026 with balance, not guilt. Your goals matter, and your fun does too. Carbless, your New Year's first good decision.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
You buy 1 ticket, ESPN Milwaukee buys the second. Yeah, we like those numbers. This Thursday only. Score Bucks buy 1, get 1 tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as $20. See the Bucks battle top competition later this month and into early February, including matchups against defending NBA champs Oklahoma City, Dallas, Chicago, and more. And don't wait. This deal is Thursday only. Tune in Thursday to ESPN Milwaukee and follow us on our socials for details and how you can grab buy 1, get 1 tickets to an upcoming Bucks game.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, Jesse's got another 100 calls to go in our Iron Jock giveaway. So keep those dialing fingers going. I want to get into some of the things that were said in the Packers locker room yesterday, but I texted this to you guys while we were still in there. Zack Tom revealing that he has a partially torn patellar tendon and will be almost certainly undergoing surgery to repair it, and that it is a 6-month recovery. That was an under-the-radar. You knew it was not good that he wasn't out there, but this would explain why he said to me, Jason, I'm not telling you what's wrong with my knee. Okay. Sounds like it's okay. Now we know what it is. Tausch, the fact that he was going to take some sort of PPR, does that make sense?
Blood spinning and all that stuff.
Yeah. And try and play in the Bears game says something about how badly he wanted to help the team. And it says something about his belief that he would have made a difference even if he would have played on largely one leg. Again, I understand. If you Tucker Kraft had a great line about it too. Like, I know I'm going to have excuses. Bottom line, though, is that now you're talking about another one of their absolute best players. And also, whatever you think of Devontae Wyatt, he was having a pretty good year when he went down with his broken fibula. Kyle Shanahan's doing a great job with the 49ers. Let me be very clear on that. Beyond that, there's a lot of teams that their seasons are derailed, including the Lions last year, who I still think would have been in the Super Bowl if not for all the injuries they had. So how should I look at Zack Tom in addition to the other injuries they had?
Well, it's a big blow, and I think when you're doing a kind of a catch-up on what all went wrong this season, a debrief, if you will, of the season, I would venture to say that the offensive line is going to take the most heat for why this season didn't go the way most Packer fans thought. There have been a lot of resources put into it, and I don't think they got the output that they were looking for. Goody and both LaFleur, I think, were very disappointed with what product they ended up putting out there. So if you had a healthy Zack Tom, I think it was that opener, right, when Hutchinson blew him up on that interception that didn't even count. It set the team back because you don't ever want to be reliant on one guy, but when you have one guy that you can rely on, it changes the math on everything. And he had a battle the rest of the season. He missed a bunch of games. He fought through and played in some that he probably shouldn't have. And now he's going to have to go through a long, arduous rehab of a really tough injury to get back out there. So not having him we've all seen when Jordan Love has a clean pocket, he's tough, man. And we saw what happened in the second half when he didn't. Would it have mattered? I don't know if it would have mattered to the point where you could say, like I would with Micah. In this case, though, Zack Tom is one of your top 6 players. And now you're looking at least half of and then you, depending on where you want to rank Devontae Wyatt, you got 4 of your top 10 players unavailable to you for a big chunk of the season, especially in the money time of the season. It isn't an excuse. I mean, it's an excuse. It's also a reason. That's tough to overcome.
I want to get into some of the things that were said yesterday in the locker room. We'll do that during the 10 o'clock hour. I would also just add this. Between the Matt LaFleur uncertainty and the players who were lost to injury speaking yesterday, normally on a day like this, we would have gotten to by now the players that won't be back potentially. Yeah. I mean, this has a chance to be a pretty significant offseason of change. Like on the offensive line, you said it. Like this could be a vastly different offensive line. But there are I saw Elton briefly come in. I did not get to talk to him. But I don't think Elton is back. I don't think Rashawn Gary is back. These are 2 guys that are under contract in addition to the free agents that they have. Like Quay Walker, who, again, he said it on the record, so it's not like I was breaking news. But
you were a newsbreaker.
He had
take some ownership in your breaking
offer
news,
on
Jay.
the table in like the first 6 weeks of the year. Didn't sign it.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, I thought, especially in the first, I thought he was flying around along with Coop.
Yeah.
I'll be curious. The Packers will bring him back, but it's got to be on their terms, would be my guess, not on his.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that he will have some opportunities from other teams that will pay him more than the Packers will.
That a babe, look at you, Joe.
Yeah,
not
know,
even
Jesse,
a sweat. You're not even sweating.
You realize I was ready to go to break about, 6-7 minutes ago, but I wanted to make sure you were done with all your calls. Do we have caller 279?
Caller 279 was Don in the UP, who was ineligible to win the prize because he lives outside the state of Wisconsin. So,
well, just wait. I don't know. Have we annexed the UP yet?
We have not. No. So after that, congratulations to Matt in Oconomowoc, who was really caller 280, but we disqualified caller 279, so that made Matt in Oconomowoc our winner. Don said he had a really good take he wanted to share with us. I said, not right now, Don, and I hung up on him.
That was rude.
Well, what is it?
I don't know.
I want Don's take.
We're not taking calls, are we?
Never know.
If he calls his shot like that and he just got robbed of a great Iron Jock hat,
let's
let him give his take.
Don, call back. Call Jesse back during the 10 o'clock hour, which will start in 2 minutes after I tell you about Associated Bank. They are back for another year with us, and we are so grateful. They've been with us from the very beginning. We're lucky to have such great partners on this show. And, of course, you're lucky if you've become an Associated Bank customer because you get to enjoy the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. Yes, Packers checking, Brewers checking, Badger checking, all great. I have regular checking. I've just got my Associated Bank logo on my debit card. But I also get all the great perks that come with being an Associated Bank customer. Early pay, my direct deposit up to 2 days early. Credit monitoring to make sure I'm ready to make a purchase with another longtime partner, Steinhoffel's, when we got our new furniture. And, of course, fraud protection when somebody tried to steal my identity. They had my back. They'll have yours as well. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes. So stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
4 years. At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with Micah Parsons. Now again, this is Micah Parsons' opinion. If you don't agree with Micah Parsons, that's fine. You get to disagree with him. But I do think what he had to say was interesting. Because, again, I think we heard some players who were not as effusive in their praise of Matt LaFleur. Sheeto, definitely not. He's a good coach.
Oh, he knows he's leaving.
Yeah.
So,
Quay Walker probably also knows he's
probably
leaving.
Yeah.
So again, and look, they're allowed to feel how they feel too, right? And maybe you could argue they're not going to be here next year, so maybe they're being more honest in their assessment. I get it. I would also argue that you can be a guy who's going to be on the team next year who doesn't think super highly of Matt LaFleur and answer the question much less enthusiastically than Micah Parsons did and still not come off as a hater.
Sure.
Okay? But this is how Micah Parsons, in our time with him, handled the Matt LaFleur uncertainty question.
I've had my fair share of coaches and people around this league that I've been around, and Matt's one of the best guys and people. Like, as a person, I've been around since I've been in this league. I reached out to him when I started saying this, and I said, man, when I agreed to come here, like, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and, I love you, and, I think you're a great coach. And, he appreciated those words and that, and we had a brief conversation. But Matt is, I think he's a great guy, and I just think he cares so much. Like, he cares so much about the players. Like, I don't think people realize that. Like, and you could get spoiled with good coaching and good people, and you don't realize until they're gone. And I don't want to be at that point where we realize, like, damn, we let such a great coach go.
Tausch, when you hear him say that, what do you think?
Well, I think it's, obviously Micah is one of the leaders on this team. Do I think Matt LaFleur was in the top 7 reasons why Micah Parsons came to the Green Bay Packers? No, I don't. But do I think that he has embraced his time in Green Bay so far, and Matt LaFleur's been a big part of that? Yes, he's had some success. And I think Micah understands the continuity part of this, and you need everybody working together to chase down this goal. And if Matt LaFleur, this contract doesn't get worked out and something changes, do I think that Micah Parsons is going to be super irritated and not, he's still going to be Micah Parsons. But there are a lot of positive things that Matt LaFleur brings to the table. But there's also question marks. And it's okay to have both of those. And if you're a current player that knows they're going to be one of the leaders and for next year's football team, you better start moving that boat in the right direction. Not to steal old PJ Flex line, but you better start making sure that that's moving in the right way, because I promise you, if he had anything not resembling that type of endorsement, it would be picked up everywhere, and it would be a huge deal. So understanding he's going to be back more than likely, and understanding what he's looking for and what the team needs, it's exactly the answer that Micah Parsons needed to give.
Yeah, and no one is expecting him to come out, including me, and say, I don't know, we're okay, but there's some areas where he needs to be a much better coach. No one is expecting that. But again, I think there are ways to answer the question without being overly effusive. And the line at the end about how you don't know what – he's a guy who's been other places. He certainly has experienced other coaches. I think what he has to say, even if it's not what some Packers fans want to hear, has some validity beyond just, he has to say that he's on the team. We can disagree on that if you'd like, but again, I think he and Tucker Kraft, I don't think they were BSing us with their assessments. That's fine if you want to disagree. Go right ahead. But we'll have to wait and see.
I'll say this. They don't really have another option, in my opinion, either. I don't think those guys, were they effusive on effusive? I don't know if I would say Micah was a very nice endorsement to Matt LaFleur, but I don't think it was anything crazy over the top either. But you're a leader on this football team, and if you're going to have your leader come back, you can't. We've seen this movie before where people aren't fully on board with the head football coach, and it doesn't end well if you're not supporting each other moving forward. So I looked at it probably a little more critically than you did, but I'm not. That's the equivalent to me of holding serve in a tennis match. You didn't have a bunch of aces. You just held serve.
Yeah, I think people forget there were no endorsements of Mike Sherman during the 2005 season. There were very few people going to bat for Matt LaFleur or for Mike McCarthy in 2018. I have a slightly longer memory.
He got fired mid-season.
Yeah, but there was already feeling afoot that things had run its course with Mike, and there were some opportunities, including for the quarterback, to have his back before that dank and drab afternoon in early December, and they did not do that at all. And Mike Sherman, including you, who loves Mike Sherman, you were smart enough to know that you weren't going to put yourself out there when you knew what the end game was during that season. You were complimentary of him. You made good decisions on what you said, just like everybody else, but there was not the kind of support. So let's not just say, because he's your coach right then, you're going to say the things you need to say. I just don't think that's true.
He got fired before we did locker room cleanout.
No,
You're not going to comment on stuff mid-season, Jason. That's crazy talk. So I don't think you can. None of those scenarios to me are equivocal. None of them are. And the other part of this is, you're talking about Micah Parsons been around a little bit. You're talking about young players. Tucker Kraft didn't even have a new contract yet. So all of that stuff plays into it. I'm not arguing with you that it's good and it's a positive sign. But I also can't be naive enough to think if you're going to be asked about your boss that you're going to be working with next year, you're probably going to be pretty positive about your assessment of him. And if you're not, it's going to cause a lot of consternation that I don't think you probably want to have. That's all.
We'll hear what Barry Alvarez had to say a little bit later in the program. We'll also hear from Tucker Kraft. That's all coming up.
What did
after
Jordan
Tausch
Love? I didn't
tells
catch,
us about American Family Insurance.
What did Jordan Love have to? I didn't hear a ton of Jordan Love. I'm sure he was very.
We didn't talk to him yesterday.
Right?
He didn't talk yesterday. You probably would have heard about it if he had.
I would think probably. American Family Insurance, proud partner of Wilde and Tausch since 1927. They've been committed to making life better with outstanding home and auto protection. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams, so insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Joining us now, caller 279 calls back. It is Don in the UP. Don, congratulations on not getting to actually receive the Iron Jock hat, but congratulations on being the correct caller. How's it going?
Hey, I'll take a consolation prize of talking to you guys any day of the week over the hat.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
And
Hat's pretty nice,
and
though.
thanks so much for everything you guys do. You know, covering the team during the year. You know, you're entering the dark season now, right? You know, when we don't have live action, but we really appreciate everything you do.
No, we're entering Tausch proclaims the Badgers are Final Four caliber season.
Well, that's a big win Saturday.
Big win over Michigan.
Big game tonight up in Minnie. Big game tonight up in Minnie.
Right on. So, the take I wanted to talk about, which I haven't heard any of the Packer media or national media or anybody talk about before. You know, I've heard arguments about, you know, players not stepping up, making plays, the special teams mishaps, the injuries, the lack of player development, the culture, defensive efforts, coaching, Goody, the playoff seeding, not winning division, blah, blah, blah. And those are disappointment, right? But for all we know, those are tangential. And there's one thing that Green Bay had control over, if you look at the game in a vacuum, and it was when they got the ball back with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. And it was a lack of ability to run the 4-minute offense. What happened was that Green Bay ran 8 plays, made the Bears take 2 timeouts, and ended up attempting a field goal with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the game. And they're up by 3. Worst case, what should have happened, if you're not running zip routes that end up leading a receiver toward the boundary, or the flag route to Dobbs, again, towards the boundary, should have been kicking that field goal with 1:20. That is the absolute worst case. If you rewatch the film and you look at where the Bears would have had to take a timeout. And the best, we took 2 kill shots, one to Musgrave in single coverage, another to Dobbs, and I think we were on the 26, 27-yard line when we did those. Your kill shot is getting a first down if you're running the ball down. There's no timeouts left. And that's it. All of it was in our control. Doesn't matter, injuries, et cetera, whatever. It was clock management and play calling to run routes to keep the receivers in the field of play. And the game is over. Or worst case, you've got a second-year quarterback, first game at home, down by 3, getting the ball back with 1:20 and no timeouts left, either needing a field goal or a touchdown to win it.
So the series that Don is referring to, I have it here. Packers take over with 4:18 left after Williams has thrown the touchdown to Zacchaeus and the 2-point conversion to Loveland. The Packers' first snap is at 4:12. They get the 34-yard completion to Dobbs. That gets them to 1st and 10 from Chicago's 33 with 3:19 to go. Bears call their first timeout at 3:16. Love hits Golden for 12 yards. Now they're down to the Chicago 21-yard line. Jacobs for no gain. Bears call timeout number 2. 2nd and 10. The deep left throw to Musgrave is incomplete. Packers call a timeout. Then get a delay a game coming out of the timeout.
That was tough.
That
was tough.
If we're going to criticize Matt LaFleur, that has not been talked about nearly enough. That is, yep. I don't know. I have no idea how that happens, but you want to get after him. There's something to get after him for. So now you're 3rd and 10 at the 21. You've called timeout. There's now 3:02 to go. Now you're facing 3rd and 15. He's incomplete to Dobbs. Then McManus misses a 44-yard field goal, and the Bears have the ball with 2:51 left. They have one timeout. Another criticism that is completely valid is you went out and you got Trayvon Diggs and you played him one snap. Now, every corner gets cooked from time to time, but you clearly were not overly enamored with the way Carrington Valentine had played the last time you played a game that mattered, right? You benched him in favor of Kamal Haddon, who then breaks his ankle. And then you have to put him back in. You sat him against Minnesota. You wanted to get a look at Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs played pretty well from what we could gather, at least according to the coaching staff. He played one snap. I don't know, maybe he gets beaten by that same route. But you give up the go-ahead touchdown. Now, the other part of this, and thanks for the call, Don, is what Tausch mentioned earlier, which is you have two wide receivers both saying that they had opportunities to win the game on the ensuing drive. And they're not wrong. They didn't make the plays, but there are a variety of reasons why the season is over, and some of them we just outlined.
We did, and I think the crux of Don's point, and I thought what happened in that second half was the complete and utter inability to run the football at all. And I think you said 29th ranked rush defense. Is that what you said?
That is correct.
That can't happen. I mean, I understand it's for, you get into that 4 minute, they're going to bow up and load the box and try to stop you. That's why this whole Matt LaFleur letting off the gas on offense. I do think the defense did not play with the same, whatever happened. Bears executed. I'm not going to ever question effort. There's plenty of clips on social media that will question that. Take that for what it's worth. But on offense, when you can't run the football at all, and you're forcing your quarterback to throw when you're trying to run clock, and then when you don't complete it, you're playing right into the hands of the opponent, and then it just starts compounding. I told you, you get a couple of series where you don't get first downs, everybody starts tightening, and we didn't do it. And the circumstances that Don just laid out, even if he makes that field goal, all of a sudden you just got to go down and get a field goal to win the game. That's a whole nother matzo ball than having to score a tutter. You miss the extra point. So it's just, like always, when there is a meltdown like we had, it's never just one thing. It's a series of things, and you make your own breaks. The Packers did not, and I think the biggest reason is because they couldn't run the ball a lick against a team that can't stop a team from running the ball.
Just on Twitter, what about the loss of Edgerrin Cooper factoring into Tausch's opinion on the defense?
Oh, it's a huge loss. Huge loss. But it's not like you put some schlub in there. I mean, it's not. Cooper's a stud, and I thought he was flying around. I thought him and Quay.
I thought it was his best game of the year.
For 3 quarters. I thought they played their tails off, and they came downhill and were. So obviously, Edgerrin getting hurt was a huge blow, and you can make that argument again. If he's out there, is it different? It would have been better than what it was. I don't know how much difference it would have been, but it definitely would have been better.
Also, another thing that I'm seeing folks want to criticize, which I think is 100% valid, is, again, using the timeout with, what was that, 44 seconds instead of spiking it?
Yeah, I hated that. I didn't like that either. It limited what you could do. It really put you in a bind, and then you allowed the defense to play a whole different style of ball because you're limited with what you have, and you know you have to get 7 points, not a field goal.
We're going to hear from Barry Alvarez from the Barry Alvarez Show with Jesse Nelson coming up after Tausch tells us about Prize Picks.
Well, it's January. You know that. Routines, they're back. Sports action never slows down. Even though the Packers are out, and if you had a great weekend with Matthew Stafford and with Puka and with Bryce Young, not as much with the Pack, but playoff intensity is back this weekend. You got a lot of great stuff that you can look at, and Prize Picks is there for you. Daily fantasy made simple. Pick at least 2-player projections. Choose more or less, and you're done. No drafts, no waiting. Just get your lineups done in under a minute. Deposits and withdrawals, they are fast and easy and available in all 50 states. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Again, that is code WI to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good
to be right.
Could do a fun one tonight. Marquette at 5:30, Wisconsin at 6, and then the Bucks at 7. You can put a little lineup together and stagger it and watch them all night long.
Well, stagger.
Yeah.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to Time Magazine, Gen Z is drinking 20% less alcohol than all previous generations. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Over our 65 years in business, we've stayed up on all the trends, where you'll always find 2,000 varieties of beer, 4,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. We now also stock over 100 varieties and growing of THCA, CBD, and Delta-9 non-alcoholic specialty-infused drinks. So whether you're experimenting with the latest wellness trend, or you just want something in your fridge that your college kid can call you cool for, come check out our expansive selection. And while you're at it, you do deserve that bottle of bourbon. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
And visit us online at discountliquorinc.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You buy one ticket, ESPN Milwaukee buys the second. Yeah, we like those numbers. This Thursday only. Score Bucks buy one, get one tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as $20. See the Bucks battle top competition later this month and into early February, including matchups against defending NBA champs Oklahoma City, Dallas, Chicago, and more. And don't wait. This deal is Thursday only. Tune in Thursday to ESPN Milwaukee and follow us on our socials for details and how you can grab buy one, get one tickets to an upcoming Bucks game.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, it's the Jesse Nelson Show featuring Barry Alvarez. What'd you guys talk about last night, Jesse?
Jesse, quickly before I didn't want to interrupt you, but I didn't know when you were going to stop, Jason.
Then chose to interrupt right after the question was asked.
I have a quick question for Jay. Not Big J, J-Dub.
Oh.
If the power structure was the same as it was back in the old days, is Brian Gutekunst giving Matt LaFleur a big boy extension?
A big boy extension?
Is he extending him? Is he going to give him what Matt LaFleur wants to keep? Is he? Do you think he loves this alignment as it is?
Yeah, I don't know what Goody feels about Matt LaFleur. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't know how authentic either of them are when they're asked about the other. I just don't. So I would punt on that question. But again, the way the structure is, boy, I'll tell you this: I would love to be Goody. You're going to extend me and give me the right to decide on the coach? I win, right? I'm the big winner in that equation. And again, I'm not saying that Matt LaFleur doesn't deserve criticism. I see very few people taking issue with any of the I mean, we just got done talking about their offensive line performance. You replaced Zack Tom with a first-round pick. I think it's reasonable to expect him to play better than he has this season, even with all the jostling around that he has dealt with, which I understand sucks for him. He wanted to be a left tackle. He didn't get to be a left tackle except in the...
he's going to be.
Yeah. And they're going to need him to play at a much higher level. But, yeah, I don't know. And who knows? That could end up being next, right? Maybe that's the next thing. Hey, here's your extension, Matt, but we're going to change the structure, and Goody's going to oversee you. And then what does Matt LaFleur say to that? Like, for those that don't want Matt LaFleur as the head coach, which seems to be everybody... I am not in that group, nor am I in the group that thinks that he is flawless and absolutely positively deserves a 4-year extension. I'm somewhere in the middle ground.
He's flawless?
My opinion,
that I've seen say he's flawless.
Huh?
Who thinks he's flawless?
I don't know. Not me, but I think people think I think that. But if they were to change the structure, if I were him, I would say, well, wait a minute now. So now you want to take the guy who was on the same plane as me on the organizational flow chart and now make him my boss? And I'm supposed to be okay with that? Maybe I don't want to be here then. Maybe upon further review, we should part ways and I should go coach the Atlanta Falcons or whoever it might be. I think there's probably, whether you feel like he's justified in feeling this or not, I wonder if he feels as appreciated as maybe he thinks he should be. Which,
well,
again,
you know what makes you know how to show you your appreciation in this business? Straight cash, homie, or silver or gold, whatever they're paying in now. Why on earth, Ed Policy, how many people do you think that come into power love giving power away?
This is exactly my point on this. Couldn't agree with you more. So you're gonna.
That ain't gonna
I
happen.
finally get to be the team president, and I'm going to say, you know what? I didn't agree with Mark when he decided to change things, so I'm going to shift back to the way it used to be under Ron Wolf and Ted Thompson before Mark Murphy got here, and it was Bob Harlan as the team president. Maybe, but to your point, that's exactly been my argument. So he's going to take over, and the first thing he's going to do of consequence is give up the power to decide on both the coach and the general manager.
That ain't happening, Captain.
No, look,
as we like to put it.
Rob Domofsky has reported that that's what the expectation is that Goody will emerge with more power. So if that's the case,
okay,
Rob is good at his job. So if he's hearing that, he's not making that up. So then my question becomes, because I think there has been now, both for fans that don't want him to be the coach anymore, and for people that are reading what Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero are putting out there, which is the wording of all these things are really interesting, especially when you add to the fact that now you've got Schefty out there talking a lot about John Harbaugh. Well, Brian Harlan, John Harbaugh, Bob Harlan used to be he's put that on pretty much every show he's been on. And again, I don't know if that is something that he's hearing, if that's him trying to give, because he's got relationships with Brian Harlan or with John Harbaugh, trying to give him more negotiating power with jobs he's more likely to get. But again, I have also seen reporting, I think in part from our ESPN Cleveland team, that says that John Harbaugh wants to have a GM that he's on board with. And he wants more say in personnel than he might have had in Baltimore toward the end. Well, how does that fit? How does that fit the Packers paradigm? You're going to make Goody now do what John Harbaugh wants? Because now you got Goody who's not going to like that setup either. So
Goody will be a deucing if that the John Harbaugh thing. I would be shocked if that happens.
Again, I agree with you. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, we'll get to Barry Alvarez coming up.
Yeah, you owe John Audius an apology.
Who does?
Tausch. He was waiting.
What did I do?
I got a text from the voice of Badger Volleyball. He was waiting in his car to hear what Barry Alvarez had to say, and then you asked that question just as we were about to throw to it. Now he has to leave, and he'll never hear what Barry Alvarez had to say.
Thank God.
Well, you tell John. John knows this. Podcast. You can go back on YouTube. John does the camera for the day. You can go back and scroll through it. John knows the game. He knows what's up.
So you will not issue an apology then?
There will be no apologies to John Audius from me. No, not even thinking.
He knows what's up, and I know what's up with the all-new ESPN app. When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, or if you blow a 21-3 halftime lead, it can feel like the season's over because it is for your team. But on the ESPN app, it never really is, because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into on the ESPN app. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season. Get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today. We will hear from Barry Alvarez, even if John Audius won't hear it. Maybe. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthAndFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree. To To serve a full term as a president? To train for something big and become someone new?
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
The Chicago Bears have got it, man. And exactly what you think about this team, that they can't keep doing it. They can't keep somehow doing it. They didn't take the ball away, which is one of their hallmarks. Jordan Love had 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions. That is a stat line that wins football games, certainly in the playoffs. And as a matter of fact, Josh Allen is the only other quarterback to lose a playoff game with 4 touchdown passes and 0 turnovers. And he did it the divisional round game against the Chiefs. And sure enough, I got to say it, a guy who looks like the second coming of Mahomes just did it to Love, because this guy can extend a play and make throws off platform like no man other than Mahomes. Rodgers back in the day. And now he's doing it for the Bears. Unreal.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Is it okay if we hear from Barry Alvarez now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. The Barry Alvarez Show live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Jesse, you said there's one more episode to go?
Tuesday night next week, we will have our season finale featuring a potentially very special guest who is very busy on Monday night joining us for the Barry Alvarez Show.
Herbie. Oh.
Maybe.
He didn't say no.
I didn't say no.
He didn't say
I didn't say no to anyone except Mario Cristobal. It's not Mario Cristobal. The rest of it we're still
I didn't
discussing.
hear you say no to that.
It's not Mario Cristobal.
I didn't know you said no to Mario.
Not Mario Cristobal.
Don't say no to Mario.
Could be a bunch of other people that are
say
busy
yes
on
to the dress.
Monday night.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am so frustrated. I used to be the king of Mario Kart. When I was rehabbing my knee in 2009, I played Mario Kart as kind of when I kicked my leg up, and I was the king. Nobody beat me. Corey Hall, Coon, it didn't matter who I was playing. And now we got this little deal. It's the Switch. Have you heard of this? It's a Switch. Mm-hmm. And there's new tracks, and there's a new – and I, for the life of me, can't beat my kids. And it is irritating. I was the king, and now I'm being called washed. Washed in Mario Kart. And I wasn't in the top 10% of the world, but in the state of Wisconsin, boy, I was good. And now I'm washed. It's frustrating.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes. Maybe we'll hear from Barry Alvarez. So stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Mark Tosher here for Iron Jock. Well, it's a new year, and that means new goals. Iron Jock is here to help you stay committed to those goals, whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026. Formulated to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, Iron Jock keeps you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. But right now, you can get 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use promo code ESPN30. That's ESPN30 for 30% off your order over $75. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Navigating today's complex market takes more than a bank. It takes a strategic partner. Fifth Third Bank helps businesses manage risk and solve financial challenges with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making. With 167 years of experience and nearly 20 years serving Milwaukee, Fifth Third delivers solutions like commercial payments, capital structure optimization, and risk mitigation. Big enough for sophisticated solutions, local enough to make decisions that matter. Connect with the Fifth Third Milwaukee team today. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour. Wilde and Tausch begins now.
Does John Audius get an apology now?
Probably not. Barry Alvarez was asked by some intrepid host about the situation in Green Bay on last night's edition of the Barry Alvarez Show. And here's what he had to say.
The head coach has a lot to do with it, and how he can incite his team and how he motivates his team. But your veteran leadership in the NFL and in college, it's your senior leadership. It's how those guys motivate a team. And normally the coach works through the players, because the best teams, the leadership comes from within. It's not the coach leading the team. It comes from within, the great team.
You would agree with that, would you not, Tausch?
100%. Absolutely. Go back and show that video again. those three, Jesse, Tark, and Derek, look at how captive they are. Look at Tark and Derek. They are captive. Just look at them. Yeah, get in there.
Captive, captive like they're like hostages captive or captivated with what Barry Alvarez is saying?
Yeah, captivated by what Barry's saying, but just look at those guys. Look at them, having a time of their lives there at Ruth Chris.
We're really packed in together. They're nice and tight.
Yeah, you're definitely
that's what I'm saying. You guys are jimmied in there.
Yeah, it's a poor Tarek in the middle.
It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it was.
So how do you view what Barry Alvarez says there? Because you obviously were part of the leadership.
Yeah, here's what I would say. Barry Alvarez is a great leader. That goes without saying. He did it with, obviously, as a head football coach, as a defensive coordinator, and then, as an athletic director. What you have to do, the main job, I believe, of a head coach is to set the vision and to be unwavering on the principles that will get you to that vision. From there, the work, the details, and all of the production have to come from the players. The coaches are going to put you in a position. There has to be a trust there, but you need to have buy-in. And in today's day and age, college football, I wouldn't even want to try and get buy-in. It is so much more difficult, and I would be curious, Jesse, if that's a question you ask Barry next week, unless you have Herbie, you could have Herbie ask him, or Chris Fowler, or whoever's going to lead course, or whoever's going to be your guest. No, he's not. I thought he might be, but he's not. Where it's a lot harder to get when you kind of have mercenaries, and that's what the transfer portal is. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Come in. How much buy-in do you have? You got buy-in from guys that have been there 3-4 years, going through it and growing and getting kicked a little bit, and then have to bounce back. But the coach has to set the vision. There was not a day that I put on a Wisconsin Badger helmet and pads, and I didn't know I was going to hit. We were going to do 9-on-7. We were going to do this. This is the blueprint. This is our vision. You guys need to get better, and you need to rep it, and then you go out and execute it. And we knew what we were going to be doing when it was push comes to shove, and we'd have to go out and execute it. And the head football coach, they get a lot of credit because they do set the tone. They do lay out the blueprint. And then it's up to your players to hold the other players accountable along with the coaches and have that communication so that you go out and execute and win. And I thought Barry was outstanding at that.
A quick question, because I'm seeing a few people asking about this on Twitter, and I've got a private talk and text line question as well, not from Pipe Jim. At what point in the waiting game do we start to think that, despite the reporting about trending toward a agreement for Matt LaFleur to remain as the head coach, at what point do we start to wonder if things are trending the other direction? Like, today's
Thursday.
Tuesday. So when
if it gets
Thursday?
to Thursday, I think if it gets to be Thursday, because listen, you got a defensive coordinator that is being interviewed by every team. You're going to be making staff changes. You got to get moving. Like, guys that you might want. If you want to get a Mike McDaniel, if you're going to end up moving offensive coordinators, special teams coordinators, or offensive line coaches, or whatever positions you're thinking, A, you need to have a head coach. And B, that head coach has to be able to make those decisions. And then C, that head coach has to bring an interview and bring these people in. Mm-hmm. So, as we know, this league comes at you fast. I don't think you can dawdle. So I would say
what was that? You can't do what?
You can't be dawdling around. Like, knitting, and you got to move. So I would think by Thursday, if you don't hear something by Wednesday night, and it gets to be Thursday morning, and there is nothing happening, I would guess you'll hear some leakage today, and you're either going to hear an extension or Shefty will break it tomorrow morning, or Rapp or somebody will break it that this extension got done. And if it is Thursday and nothing is done, then everybody's ears should be perked up and thinking there might be more to this story, Morning Glory, than what we've seen.
Mike Petten, as you like to call him.
Is he back?
Is retiring. Kevin O'Connell announcing that the former Browns head coach and current assistant head coach in Minnesota is retiring. So Mike Petten, happy trails and congratulations on a fine career. In retrospect, he was pretty decent as the Packers defensive coordinator too. And then Jeff Hafley followed Joe Barry, who had some moments of success, but certainly not.
Why did we get rid of Petten?
Because Matt LaFleur, as a inexperienced head coach, who got plenty of criticism from me and others, did not really mishandled him. And Mike Petten just wanted the head coach to acknowledge some of his own shortcomings and felt like he was being scapegoated, which I think Mike Petten was probably right feeling that way. So, again, that was not a great time, and I think Matt LaFleur has evolved as a coach, but that was a bad look for him. That was not a good situation, if you recall.
Would if, let's say, Hafley gets one of these jobs,
would he bring back
everybody
Mike
feels
Petten?
like he will? I'm not 100% sure. No, he's just retired. Would Matt LaFleur get over the sting of Jimmy Leonard saying, "Deuces, I ain't taking your gig," and offer him that job again? Because I do believe Jim Leonard's going to be a D coordinator in this league next year. If it's in Denver, if old boy leaves, or if it's in Dallas, if it's in Dallas where he's interviewed, or I would venture that I bet Jimmy wouldn't mind having Micah and having McKinney and not having to fly or move his family. I don't think that'd be the end. Would he be open to putting that olive branch out and bringing Jimmy back?
I don't know, but I would think that he would be. I can't say how much of a grudge holder he is.
Well, you have an idea.
I don't. I think Jim Leonard had his chance. That's what I think. But again, I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. Are you doing the thing that we've done before on this show, where you hear some rumblings and you throw something out there, and it's more educated than just throwing stuff against the wall, kind of a deal there?
No, all I'm saying is I do believe that Jimmy Leonard wants to be a defensive coordinator in this league. I think there was a time where he was figuring out what he was going to do and everything else. I believe that Jimmy Leonard would love to be a defensive coordinator, and I would think, and I am not saying that I have talked to him, not saying that at all. I'm not a reporter. Lord knows that. I don't have any interest in that game. I just heard Pat McAfee say y'all hate sports.
Yeah,
I love sports. All right, anybody, I love sports, not like some of these reporters. So I just think that, boy, if that happens, Jimmy Leonard is going to be a rising star. We know that. There's somebody that knows ball. Jimmy Leonard knows defense. Okay? And I think Packer fans would love to have Jimmy Leonard come home and lead this defense, but I do wonder, once bitten, twice shy, baby. Maybe that's it. I know I can't sing that because of royalties, but you get bit, you're probably going to be a little shy. That's my understanding of how that song goes, right?
Is that how that goes? Just to be clear, you and Jim Leonard were never teammates at the University of Wisconsin. Is that correct?
We were not. No, that is correct.
Did you ever interview him in a car driving around before a game?
No.
Okay. You took over as the radio analyst. You do this thing where you drive around in cars and interview people, and I was thinking maybe
Jimmy
you did
Leonard
that with Jim Leonard at some point.
Jimmy Leonard stopped playing in Wisconsin, or he wasn't the coach. It's been 3 years. Gel.
When did you start doing your thing?
2 or 3 years ago? I don't know. I think 2 or 3 years ago. How long has Fick been the head coach?
I thought
3 years.
I thought you did it earlier than that. My mistake.
Well, you
Sorry.
were wrong.
And whoops.
Coaches getting coffee with Cars and Tausch.
But all I'm saying on this, and you asked a really good question about how long this thing, because listen, we want everything now. We want to hear it now. We want to hear extension, or you're trading him, or whatever you're going to do. We want it, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting there not knowing who your coach is, and then you have to get a staff together, and you're going to not promote. Like, that could get gnarly. And you don't want gnarly.
Can I throw a different name at you if Jeff Hafley leaves?
Al Harris.
It was a former teammate of yours.
Yeah, you
Al
can.
Harris. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask about.
I still am. Yeah, Al's the man. Love Al. That'd be great. I don't know what his role is with the Bears.
Doesn't he not
He's the defensive passing game coordinator.
He doesn't really coach, like, scheme. He just tells everybody, just go out there and feel it. Didn't he say that? Didn't he?
Who the hell told you
he
that?
He said that in an interview one time. He's like, I don't really, we don't do scheme.
I don't coach scheme.
I swear to you,
I saw feel it.
I swear to you, Al Harris said this in an interview. It's just go out there and you got to feel for what you're doing.
Sounds
hey,
like
Al,
preparation
what
for the show.
Hey, Al, what coverage are we going to do to stop Loveland? I don't know. Just go feel it.
I swear to you, this is what
Couldn't
he
have been
said.
worse.
That's true. That's true. You would have thought Loveland was Tony Gonzalez reincarnated the other night, the way he was wild.
Yeah, they did not have a whole lot of answers. I talked to Xavier McKinney about that, too. He didn't have any great answers on that either. All right. Jesse is now furiously trying to find this clip.
Yes, I am. and I expect an apology when I find it and get it to you.
What kind of defense do you run? We're a vibes only. We're going to go vibes only, baby.
Just do whatever. Just roll the ball out there. We need to play trivia. Jesse, can you break away from searching for this famous clip of Al Harris saying, I don't even know what you're saying he exactly said.
It's a feel thing. In the secondary, it's a feel thing out there with the Cowboys. That's what made him so successful when he was coaching there.
Yeah, if only I could ask Trayvon Diggs about that. We're gonna play trivia. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's the category? It is Tuesday, but you didn't play yesterday. So are you recycling yesterday's questions?
Yeah. Wild card weekend wrapped up. Sports weekend recap feels appropriate today. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will take caller 279. We will take caller 18, which is 2 + 7. +9, caller 18, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 18 plays trivia after Tausch tells us again about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And for your New Year's resolution, the sky is the limit with Pella's 0% interest for 4 years finance offer. No payments, no interest, 4 years. Think the Packers would have a division title in those 4 years? Nope. That's how long it is. Think of everything you can do in 4 years. You can get a college degree. You can raise your toddler till they're ready for school. You can serve a full term as president. Start your own journey towards meeting your personal goals and enjoy Pella's highest quality products with exclusive features custom made for your home. The deal ends Jan 31. So schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners. Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app, whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew. Let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. But you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Well, the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and I love you, and I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on. Time now, presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs for trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs $10 deal meal gives you a 7.5-inch sub, bag of chips or regular fries, fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal is only available online or through the Cousins app. And Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com.
It is time for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. I know he's eligible. He's not in the UP. He is Dan in Brothertown. Dan, good morning, buddy. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great, man. Everything is wonderful.
Glad to hear
except
that.
for Saturday.
Who we got on Saturday?
Oh, no, I meant the Packer game.
Oh, I thought
Saturday night.
Who do the Phoenix have this Saturday? They got a game on Saturday?
Well, the Phoenix are at Milwaukee this Saturday, but Wednesday night they're at home against I think Purdue Fort Wayne. It could be wrong, but I think it's them. So
got
I'll be
any
there.
extra tickets? That might be available.
Yes, sir.
Season's
if you want to
over?
come to anytime, man.
Okay. I'll let
Anytime you want to come to a game, you let me know. Yep.
I will definitely do that. All right.
I pay for winners. IPFW.
What?
Oh, that's it, huh?
Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Tausch had the fun one last week with UCLA. I was trying to be like old T.
Dale. All right, let's play trivia.
Acronyms aren't always easy, are they, Jesse?
Thought I pay for winners was pretty good.
I liked it.
Thanks.
Okay, if we may. Caller one, question one for Dan in Brothertown. Which Wisconsin Badgers basketball player was named Big Ten Player of the Week for his performance in victories against UCLA, which stands for?
You clowns lose again.
And number 2, Michigan. Was it Nick Boyd, Jack Janicki, or Freddie Owens?
Nick Boyd.
1 for 1. Question 2.
Freddie Owens, the guest on the Jump Around on ESPN Madison's Badgers dedicated digital show this Thursday at 12:30.
Savvy cross promotion there. Well
really
done.
good job there, Jell. I was wondering. That wasn't funny, so that's good stuff.
It was not funny. Question 2, Dan, is this one. Which NFL team scored the most points on Wild Card Weekend? Was it the Chicago Bears, the Houston Texans, or the Los Angeles Rams?
That'd be the Rams.
2 for 2. Question 3. Big opportunity here, Dan.
Let's go.
Hot stove! Exclamation point. Okay. Which star free agent and former World Series champion did the Chicago Cubs sign to a 5-year deal over the weekend? Was it Nolan Arenado? Was I close on that, Jesse?
That's right. Yeah, you got it. Baseball guy.
Alex Bregman.
That's correct.
Or Manny Machado.
That's also correct.
Known as Jorge Machado.
Oh, man, it was a different name than I heard. Give me those 3 again. The Cubs signed this guy?
Because it went so well the first time. All right, let me try that again. Here we go. Nolan Arenado, Alex Bregman, or Manny Machado?
Alex Brinkman.
Indeed. Is that concerning for Brewers
right.
fans?
That's a little
Jesse?
concerning, yeah. He's a little past his prime. He washed the last couple of years, but he's still one of the top third basemen in the league.
Washed the last couple of years, but we should be concerned?
Yes.
It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't matter.
He is 31 years old.
Brewers pitching is too good.
Alex Bregman. All right. Dan, you got all 3 right. You got 4 entries into Friday's drawing presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, thank you very much. Hope to see you guys around soon.
I look forward to it as well. That is Dan in Brothertown. We are off to a perfect week, as Jesse and Tausch like to point out. You know what else is perfect? This is the perfect time for Tausch to tell us about Annex Wealth Management.
Oh, and I'm excited, Jason. Annex is a new partner. The new year. What do I do with my paycheck? Do you want to put it all in the 401k? Tax stuff. I got a ton of questions, and you know what? this Thursday, January 15th, as soon as I'm done hosting this show with Jason Wilde, I'm co-hosting a webinar with Annex Wealth Management. I don't have a script, just like this show. I don't go off of a show sheet. They want me to be myself. Yeah, I'm going on vibes only. And I get to fire questions at their chief economic strategist. Jason, what do you always say? If we don't know, what do we go do? We don't know Bucks as well. We get an expert. And you know what? We have one with Annex. Brian Jacobson, smart guy. He's on national shows, CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all the big shows. So what happens when an economist talks to an old tackle and a radio show host? Let's find out on Thursday. When it comes to money, we got a lot of questions. I am super intrigued. Silver, gold, all the geopolitical stuff. I don't know, all of the stuff. We have questions. Register now at events.annexwealth.com, and you can join me on the 15th, right after this show, for Navigate. It's going to be fun, and I think we're going to learn a little something that will help us have a great 2026 financially.
Brian, is that his name? Brian?
Is Brian Jacobson going to ask you about Matt LaFleur and Badger football?
No, this is so what we probably should do is maybe on Friday we could have Brian join us as a recap, and then he could ask us, as I'm going to ask him all kinds of inflation questions and all of the stuff that's going on, and he could ask us Packer or football questions on Friday.
Are you going to ask Brian what percentage of your income you should wager on Prize Picks? Is that part of the conversation, or do you not want him to be part of that?
The beautiful thing is, Jason, I've been told I have carte blanche.
Nice.
We have like 100 people signed up to join us in this. We're hoping more. We hope some of our fans will join us. And I have a little button that I get to ask questions. I get to interrupt him at any point.
I'm not sure. They're giving you a button?
I got an interrupting button. It's an interrupting button that I get to hit.
What? Is it like the Family Feud button?
If Brian says something that I don't have a clue about, I'll be like, whoa, B, hold up, B. And then at the end of the show, at the end of the hour present, you know what I'm going to say to B, right? You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, we know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Jacobson, as Liam Neeson didn't actually say and taken.
Should I call him Jake, or should I call him BJ, or should I call him Brian? What do we call him?
I don't.
Let's say B.
He's a doctor.
Dr. B.
He's a doctor.
Dr.
B might be what I go with.
He's Dr. J.
I could go Dr. J, too. I got a lot of options with Brian.
Hey, Brian.
He's going to love this.
Good luck.
Webinar.
Oh, my God. I've got an interrupting button. Maybe we could get you one of those, too. Why don't we, if they're giving you an interrupting button, take it with you after the webinar, and
Keep that button.
You could just there'll be a sound effect, and it'll be the Tausch interrupting button, and we can call it the Dr. J button. All right. Whoa, Nelly.
It's either going to be the best or worst webinar ever done.
How do I sign up? I'm an Annex customer. Where do I sign up?
Okay. Well, you go to events.annexwealth.com. And it's a webinar. We'll have me and Dr. B. I think I'm going to call him. Me and Dr. B.
Events.annexwealth.com.
Yep.
Webinar, Navigating the Markets.
Yep.
I got news for you. They're promoting it. There's no mention of you.
What are you talking about?
Are you sure you're on it?
This Thursday, January 15th, right?
Yeah, noon. Annex Wealth Management's Navigating the Markets is an interactive presentation focused on providing information and insight on today's market and economy. Join Annex Wealth Management's Brian Jacobson as he shares with you the perspective of Annex Investments Committee. Register now.
Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing on me on there?
It says nothing of you.
That interrupting button might be a mute button, actually.
Well, I am going to promise you this. If I can get connected, I will be there, and I will be interrupting.
If I can
Right.
get
you know my tech.
Oh, God.
You know my tech savviness. It's not great.
Oh, boy. Oh, no, that's... Make sure Sarah's home before that starts.
I hope so.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Well, the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and, I love you, and, I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution, and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Mark Tosher here for Iron Jock. Well, it's a new year, and that means new goals. Iron Jock is here to help you stay committed to those goals, whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026. Formulated to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, Iron Jock keeps you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. But right now, you can get 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use promo code ESPN30. That's ESPN30 for 30% off your order over $75. Shop now at ironjock.com.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't forget to register for that webinar, Tausch. Events at annexwealth.com is the website if you want to sign up and get your interruption button ready. Get ready now to interrupt Jesse during Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
So amid everything going on with the Packers and the loss of the Bears and LaFleur speculation and end of season player availability and all that, we haven't really talked about the other games in the NFL playoffs from over the weekend. So let's go rapid fire. I'll give you the score in the game, and you give me a thought on what transpired in it. So here we go. Saturday afternoon, before Packers-Bears, Rams 34, Panthers 31. Rams needed a late comeback to grab the lead in Charlotte and advance. They faced the Bears this weekend. Tausch, what do you think of the Rams-Panthers game?
Stafford's a dog, an absolute dog. And Devontae afterwards saying he's going to. Stafford came in and said, let's go snatch some souls or hearts or whatever he said when they had it. Love it. And I think the Rams are the team to beat in the NFC.
I wonder, since you bring that up, because I saw that too, going back to our discussion earlier about players and leadership and everything else. You played with Aaron Rodgers. He would do that sort of thing.
Sure.
Played with Brett Favre. He would do that sort of thing.
That wasn't really his deal as much as you just kind of felt it. It was more of a vibe like Al.
Sure.
I'm having trouble finding that article, by the way.
I was going to say, still waiting on that clip.
I'm looking.
Would you like to see more or hear more about that from Jordan Love? Because you said that with a lot of affinity there.
Yeah, I think there's. I'm guessing Stafford doesn't do that every game. I could not be more impressed with the evolution of Jordan Love from where he started to where he is. I think his voice, his confidence, and how he approaches things, I'm sure he'll get more and more confident as he goes. I guess the question I have is, when will he get to the point that we saw Favre and Rodgers, where it almost gets to the point where it gets contentious with your coach and with your I don't know if that will be the case. I want authenticity at my quarterback spot. If you're a cold-blooded killer, and you be it, but then go execute it. And it feels like Jordan's more of a lead by example. He's going to speak when he feels like it's really important. But you saw for the first time, he doesn't show up receivers. You saw his visible frustration after that Jaden Reed drop in the game. Yeah. You just wonder, you have to hold guys accountable. And that was obviously a huge play in that game, and he was very, very disappointed that he didn't come away with it.
Yeah, by the way, to answer Jesse's question, that was a really entertaining game. It was on in the press box before the Packers obviously kicked off. I was able to watch it intermittently while we were doing Green Bay game day pregame. When it snowed during my time on there, and by the time I finished, the snow was gone. And it was accumulating, and then suddenly I turned around again, and it was gone. So that was weird. Next.
Whoa, Nelly!
I should know better than to try and do anything rapid fire with you guys. Sunday, Bills-Jaguars. Sunday afternoon, 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Bills win it 27-24. What'd you think, Tausch?
Fun game. Josh Allen put the cape on when he had to. I'm pulling for Buffalo to win a world championship. I want to see them win it. Anybody else, I don't really care. I want to obviously see the Bears get knocked out. I'm sick and tired of that whole, it was when we had them buried, it was kind of fun to, oh, it's so cute. Oh, but now this thing is full on, like the fire is burning. We're done with them. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He can do it with his legs. He can do it with his arm. He's smart. He's doing what he needs to do. And I'd love for the narrative to end because I think he has been a phenomenal quarterback for the last 4 or 5 years, and I'd love to see him get paid out and not have to keep hearing that same narrative that Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and some of his other peers have. I think he's elevated himself to that next level. I don't think he's going to get there. I think the road is going to be too tough, but I hope he does.
I'm just curious who among the Wisconsin media would have been lauded by folks that are not journalists, according to what they say, if they had told Matt LaFleur some of the same things that that reporter said to Liam Cohen. Duval.
Keep your head high, young man.
Also, breaking news from our buddy Jeff Passan. I was unfamiliar with Nolan Arenado's game. Now he's taking his game from St. Louis to Arizona. He's being acquired. 8-time All-Star to the Diamondbacks. So if you were hoping the Brewers would acquire him, no.
I wasn't.
Nope. No thanks.
Neither was
I. San Francisco went to Philadelphia and took down the champs 23-19 on Sunday evening. Tausch, what'd you think?
Philly was flawed. I think it shows the greatness of Kyle Shanahan and what McCaffrey and what they were able to do with a couple of different setup trick plays that worked. San Francisco's not winning a championship this year. But that was a big boy win going into Philly and kind of knocking them off. The NFC West is a bunch of dogs. But I think San Francisco's run ends Saturday. Is it a Saturday game?
Yeah,
they have to play on a short week, which is
that's so unfair.
Complete BS. It's complete BS, but it sucks for them, but tough luck. I'm never going to feel sorry for the San Francisco 49ers.
That was impressive. They continue to do what the Packers could not do despite injuries. They continue to win, and then they lost George Kittle in that game. So kudos to their team and to Kyle Shanahan. They did go 5-12 when they were beset by injuries last year. But this year they have been fantastic, and it's been really impressive. I do think the Eagles were flawed. Next.
Whoa, Nelly! Sunday night, 16-3. Kind of a snoozer, but it was close into the fourth quarter. The Patriots took down the Chargers.
Yeah. Justin Herbert is overrated, and I don't think Jim Harbaugh's a good coach. The Chargers, you have such a tough slog when you have 17 road games. It's just tough. I think that is a franchise that's never going to win. And I think we saw why Sunday, whatever night that was. Just they don't have it. It's not going to happen for them.
Justin Herbert needs Matt LaFleur. Next.
Whoa, Nelly! Justin Herbert needs Matt LaFleur?
Yeah.
Say what?
He's done a great job of developing Jordan Love and developing Malik Willis.
So you want him to go to the Chargers?
If he gets fired, he's not going to the Chargers. They're going to keep their Harbaugh, and then the other Harbaugh is going to get, I don't know about the Packers job, but another job. But I would like to see Justin Herbert in one of those offenses. I think if you ask Brian Bulaga, their first offense that he was in with Herbert was not very good. And I'm not convinced that Jim Harbaugh is as good as advertised as an NFL head coach at this point. He was great in 2012 or whatever that was with the 49ers. There's no doubt about that. But again, much like his brother, this idea that the Harbaugh name means you're going to have automatic success, I'm not a believer in that. I'm a skeptic. And if they meet in another Super Bowl in 2 years, I will apologize and say I was wrong. Next.
Whoa, Nelly! Last one from last night, 30-6. The Texans ended up beating the Steelers. It was 10-6 in the fourth quarter. They scored 3 times en route to the blowout victory, including a pick 6 what might be Aaron Rodgers' last pass in the NFL. What did you think watching that last night, Tausch?
Well, Houston's defense is the real deal. Their edge rush is phenomenal. The Steelers were dinky-dunky in understanding that they weren't going to be able to protect Aaron the way they needed to because, Aaron still got the arm. Like, he can still do all that. I think avoiding the rush is what happens when you get older, especially coming off of an Achilles. I thought Pittsburgh was very lucky. Stroud couldn't catch a snap. He couldn't catch a snap. Stroud, I think Houston's going to have an interesting decision. If I'm them, I don't know if I'm paying him $60 a year. I don't know about that, Jimmy. Their defense can win a world championship. Their offense can't.
As long as they can beat Pluto. I thought Aaron Rodgers' final pass as a Packer was an interception, just like Brett Favre's was. And now his potential last pass as an NFL quarterback will be the pick six, which is crazy because he rarely threw pick sixes, hardly ever. And I can't wait for him to be the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings next season.
Not going to happen.
Probably not.
I think Malik Willis is going to go to the Vikings.
I think there's a chance of that
Willis,
as well.
That's what I would do.
Well, I would agree.
That's what I would do if I was him.
That is Whoa Nelly. We will wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I have never seen BBL together. I've seen BBQ.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
KBN.
Matt LaFleur coaches differently in the second half. He's just not a big-time coach. You cannot get the big win with Matt LaFleur, and I just don't know what's going to change for us to have championship expectations going forward.
Kyle Bruston Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
You buy one ticket, ESPN Milwaukee buys the second. Yeah, we like those numbers. This Thursday only. Score Bucks buy one, get one tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as $20. See the Bucks battle top competition later this month and into early February, including matchups against defending NBA champs Oklahoma City, Dallas, Chicago, and more. And don't wait. This deal is Thursday only. Tune in Thursday to ESPN Milwaukee and follow us on our socials for details and how you can grab buy one, get one tickets to an upcoming Bucks game.
No look behind the back to Cohen, who runs
rises up, throws it down.
Siku Kone and the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team take on Oakland this Thursday. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. at Panther Arena. From clutch three-pointers to rim-rattling dunks to game-changing blocks, you'll experience all the action. Ticket prices start at just $23. Help tilt the floor this Thursday at 6. Visit mkepanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Your New Year routine just got a major refresh thanks to Carbless. Staying mindful, Carbless has 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Watching calories? We've got you covered. Still want something bold and delicious? Well, that's our specialty at Carbless. Whether you're out celebrating or settling into post-holiday goals, Carbless keeps things light, fun, and completely guilt-free. Start your 2026 with flavor and no compromise. Celebrate the new year with bold flavor, 0 guilt, and a drink that keeps things light. Happy New Year from Carbless. Let's make your new year feel flawless.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Up on Wilde and Tausch. No digital bonus today. Although that was fun yesterday. I was glad I got to be back for that. Tausch, I have a question for you because you dealt with your share of injuries during your career. Okay. I was talking to Tucker Kraft yesterday after we were kind of done with our big group thing. Because obviously Micah Parsons was at the game on Saturday night in Chicago. And I asked Tucker if he was there, and he said no, he was dealing with, they had him on blood thinners because he was having some issues with blood clots after his surgery. And he said that, so he didn't get to travel to any of the games. When you were dealing with your ACL, like, was there a point after the surgery where you were able to go? Because he said that was, and you've talked about this before, when you're not playing, you feel like you're part of the team, but not really part of the team, and that's one of the many mental hurdles you have to deal with as a player. And he said that really took a toll on him. Like, he not only was he not playing, but now he wasn't even with the guys. And so, he went to meetings, he tried to do all the stuff during the week that he could, but, to not be there on game day, especially when they're on the road, I'm just curious, is that commonplace, or was that, you think that's a little bit unusual?
I think it's a little unusual. Usually there's, you're not going to be down on the sideline because you have to be able to protect yourself. And obviously with an ACL, that first 4 to 6 weeks, you have to be pretty limited with what you do. Mm-hmm. But as far as, flying, I think you usually try to wait, 2 to 4 weeks because the change in elevation and all of those things. And that is the thing you're worried about are infections and, and blood clotting. So, that's unfortunate for Tucker, and yeah, it's a tough deal regardless. And when you factor in that you have to isolate yourself even a little bit more, there's a part of guys once the season is over, when you're injured, it's almost like all right, now let's go, because now you're kind of back and you can start seeing that goal. Whereas prior to that, I'm sure it's been a tough 2 or 3 week or 2 or 3 month stretch for Tucker in the fact that he wasn't able to go and get on the road and at least be as much of a part of it as he can.
Now, he did say yesterday that he expects his timeline to be similar to training camp in 2024 when he was coming back from the pec tear, that he would start on PUP but then practice during camp and be ready for the opener, which would be 10 months from the injury. Micah Parsons, by the way, saying he would love to be ready for the opener. He expects more week 3 or week 4, but he thinks he'll be ready in September. And his doctors have told him that he's flying through his recovery, whatever that means, he said.
That's awesome.
We'll talk about the offensive line's performance.
What if Dallas is on the schedule? I don't know if Dallas is on the schedule. What if Dallas is the opener?
I don't think Dallas is on the schedule, but I have that somewhere. I'll look that up. But we're out of time, so I'll have to do that later. You'll have to push your interrupt button like you will with Brian Jacobson at the webinar you're not signed up for. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wisconsin Lutheran senior and Northern Iowa commit Xavier Zenz. Zenz delivered a championship-clinching performance at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, knocking down a buzzer-beating three-pointer to lift number 15 Wisconsin Lutheran to a 57-54 win over North Crowley in the traditional bracket title game. Zenz finished with a game-high 26 points, shooting 9 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He scored the final 7 points of the game, including